This is the greatest Kickstarter video you are ever going to see. This is for Age of Empires Race War. The races in this game are as follows from strongest to weakest. First is the White Aliens. The flag of this race consists of the sun, the moon, and the pole star. That is because these things are bastions of whiteness and are indicative of God's love of same. For racial bonuses, since this is the smartest race, the villagers will gather at 50% increased speed, build every building 3 times as fast and with 4 times as many hit points. All technology resourced by this race will also be granted instantaneously and free of charge. They also have a bonus of plus 3 to line of sight from having a superior eye structure, and plus 10% to movement speed from having a superior nose structure. The next race is the East Asians. These people have minus 10 to their line of sight, minus 50% to unit size. They also have a unique building known as the Mammal Meteority. This building will passively generate various mammalian creatures inside. You can then task the chink villagers to go harvest these animals, and they will gain food, with food, wood, and coin being the 3 resources in this game. The next race is the American Blacks. The American Blacks suffer from systemic oppression. Due to this, they gather all resources at a 10% reduced rate. This gives them the bonus as well of Blame Whitey. You can blame Whitey for your systemic oppression. This will cause you to gather at an additional 10% reduced rate, but cause Whitey to gather at 0.00001% or less reduced rate. The next bonus is these white people trying to kill me. Due to this, any American black unit can flee from any lighter skinned unit at a speed of 200% increase. The next racial bonus they have is that 50% of their gold goes directly to their explorer unit. This is to purchase him a vehicle, a submachine gun, and then limbs and a stereo for his vehicle. This is so that he can do drive-bys like a boss nigga. The next bonus is to help them pay for this. The American blacks have a way of producing gold that no other race in the game has. Any black unit can go up to any other unit in the game and attempt to sell it drugs. This action has a 50% success rate. If successful, the other race's unit will pay the black unit gold, and will then be debuffed by 15% unless healed by a white alien priest. The next race is the so-called Native Americans. These people are 15% smaller. They also suffer from alcoholism. This causes them to have 25% reduced hit points. The final race bonus is reservation. Due to this, they can pay a tribute to open a reservation in an opposing race's base. In this reservation will be erected a casino that generates gold per minute based on how many units that race has. The next race is the Middle Easterners. Due to their disdain for women and selection of child brides, they have a reduced birth rate by 20% and thus reduced production speed by 20%. The next bonus they have is Smith's Bed. Due to this, any unit that enters a 30-tile radius with the Middle Easterners is debuffed by 20%. Their next race is Camel Jockeys. Due to this, instead of horses, their cavalry will ride camels. These will have 20% reduced movement speed and 10% reduced hit points. The next bonus the Middle Easterners have is Explodes on Death. Due to this, every time a Middle Eastern unit dies, it will cause an explosion. This deals very little damage to military targets, but deals 500% increased damage to civilian units. Due to this, the number one strategy amongst high elo Middle Eastern players will be to self-destruct their units near opposing races' villagers in order to blow them all up. This dovetails nicely with their final bonus of dead babies on radio. Due to this, 1 in 10 units produced by lighter-skinned races will be a Middle Easterner who's been allowed into the country unharmed. The Middle Eastern player can then explode this unit on the lighter race's villagers to kill them. The next race is the Hindustani. They are a lot like the Middle Easterners, except instead of a reduced production speed, due to their forceful breeding methods, they have 15% increased production speed. Their next bonus is Burning Widows. Due to this, you recoup 10% of the loss for a unit on his death, because you do not have to pay his widow as you burn her alive. The next bonus they have is minus 20% to hit points. This is because they do not wash hands and they have poop everywhere. The final race is an international cartel of sorts. A little bit about these people. These are god and people-hating faggots who are best friends with the Pope, who is also a god and people-hating faggot. They want nothing more than to see you and everyone who does not hate God and all other people dead. Now, these people have the racial bonus of homosexuality. Due to this, instead of gathering or producing villages, they will have a homosexual orgy in front of their town center. To compensate for this, they are spawned in with a 200% gather rate, skill-capped AI playing as the White Aliens. This White Alien AI will send them all the resources that it gathers, as well as providing them an unlimited number of free military and economic shipments that they can send into themselves. This is because the cartel cannot produce their own military units as they are all too busy being homosexuals. The other bonus they have is child trafficking. Due to this, for every 10 non-cartel units produced, one will be child trafficked over to the cartel and forced to join in the orgy. The last bonus they have is hate God. Due to this, the cartel is unable to win the game under any circumstance. If the player opposing the cartel is reduced to 1 unit, all cartel units will die from age because they are faggots. Then the mercenaries will destroy the entire town center, causing the cartel to lose the game. The other scenario is that the player opposing the cartel disconnects. In this scenario, the entire cartel base will explode and the disconnected player will be rewarded the win. Now, I can get this made, but I need $200,000 from you guys. Please help.